Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So, get food put back. Guys, we've been talking about this for a while. We've been showing you putting food back, weekly preps, things of that nature. Today, I've got a whole bunch of spaghetti noodles. Let's check out the date. Best by date, February 23rd of 2025. Spaghetti noodles last a very long time, have a great shelf life even by itself, but using Mylar extends the shelf life. We're talking pasta anywhere from 7 to 11 years, as long as you're using an oxygen absorber. Seal it up. Dry goods is one of the staples of preppers. Okay, sure, we have canned goods, things like that. Most canned goods, depends on how you store them, is how long they're going to last. Okay, with dry goods, you're talking 10 years down the road. Rotational stock, rice over 20 years, as long as it's sealed correctly and stored correctly. This is something that we all need to be working on, is putting food back. I always am. We have a normal rotational stock. In other words, I eat spaghetti about 3 times a week, if I'm lucky. Sometimes twice a week. We pull from our stocks. We grab what spaghetti we have in Mylar, pull it out, open it up. When we go to the store, we replace what we've used. It goes in the back of our stock. Stock moves forward. Now, we have food everywhere. I don't tell people the location of this stuff because it's nobody's business where I put my food. But I encourage you not to have it all in one spot. Case in point, when I had my house fire in Oregon, I lost everything in the house. All prep wise. I got my family out, but I lost everything in the house. Do you have all your preps in your home? What happens when you have a house fire? What happens if a natural disaster comes and destroys your home? Floods it, hurricane, tornado, lightning strike. Yeah. Now let's talk about civil unrest. Let's say that you do have to evacuate from your home to save your life. You're leaving behind a lot of food. And let's say if they decide to do door-to-door searches in a different scenario, some would disagree with me, and that's fine. As preppers, we look at all different scenarios. But let's say they do door-to-door and search for food. Government officials, local government officials. I don't mean the U.S. military. I'm talking about your local commerce, all right? Especially during EMP. You know, William Forstner had done a book, 1 Second After. It's actually part of a trilogy. Made you really start thinking about, well, made me really start thinking about this. This is why we don't have all food in one spot. But they're locals, the sheriff, mayor, some other person, I forgot who it was in the novel. But anyway, they decided since the EMP attack happened, they have no food coming in. So what they wanted to do was start going door to door and collecting food. And what they'll do is have a communal feed in their town once a day. But they're going to come to your door to get your food and disperse it amongst everybody else. It's only fair. Everybody's fair share. Now, what I recommend you doing is moving your stuff around. All right, guys, so we have Mylar here. We are affiliated with Wallabies, but we have been using Mylar, vacuum seals, things like that for years. I like Mylar the best. It just lasts so much longer, and I've never had any failures using Mylar. So I'm going to set this up out of the way here. We have our oxygen absorber. I got my trusty Harbor Freight scissors. Now, when I do spaghetti, usually I take them out of the package. This time around, I'm going to try something different. Mainly because spaghetti has a tendency to puncture products. I haven't had any go through my Mylar, but I have in vacuum sealed. So since there is oxygen in this, I'm going to clip the corner, just like that. And we're going to go, these are 1 pound a piece. We're going to try to get 3 pounds in this gallon bag. Now I could break it and it'll work just fine. But what I'm going to try to do is set this in here and Mylar it up. Since we cut the corners, it should protect the Mylar even more from any type of puncture, but we haven't had any issues. These particular bags are 5 mil thick, so I've not had any spaghetti puncture through these, but it is something I wanted to give it a try and test out. Now, when it comes to your O2 absorbers, what I recommend doing, you see there is a little pink tab in there to show me that it is oxygen free. What I usually do is set up how many bags. Each one of these come with 10. I try to do 10 bags. That way I can pull each one out and be done. Since I only got one bag right here for the film, we're going to cut this open, pull, and then we're going to seal it back up, and hopefully, it usually works, it will keep our other O2 absorbers from firing off and absorbing oxygen. So I'm going to set this up in here. That is going to produce a seal, and hopefully that keeps that safe. Now, your O2 absorbers, you always check them. I've never had any issues. As long as it's nice and soft and moves around, you've got a good oxygen absorber. Now we're going to drop this in. We're going to set this in place. Spaghetti is a little bit more finicky because it's so long. Go up top, lock it in place, and we'll have our seal across. I don't really like how that happened, so we're going to put it one more time and make sure we got a really nice seal across. All right, so we double sealed that right there. There are 2 seals. So with this, what we usually do is we stack them on top of each other, put them in a location, and we make sure everything pulls down tight as far as, you know, as much oxygen as possible. This here does have a lot of oxygen, which I'm not too happy about. So since that, if that ever happens to you, you can take your handy dandy scissors, open up a corner, just like that right there. We can squeeze out as much oxygen as possible. And then seal that corner. Just like that right there. I feel better doing it like that. That way when the O2 absorber kicks in and starts pulling, it should pull down nice and tight. So this is 3 pounds of spaghetti right there. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, I got like 8 boxes of 4-pounders. So I'm going to be here a while doing this. I want to encourage you guys, get out there, get food put back. Ain't no time to be playing around with this stuff. Actually work on it and get food put back. Speak to y'all later.